All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start the podcast recording. Just going to give it a few minutes so we get some more Twitch viewers. Then we'll get into the podcast. So stick around. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start the podcast recording. Need to mute the Twitch in the background. What's up, Beatrix? Welcome to the podcast. We'll probably get started in about 10 minutes or so once people know that the DAoC stream has started and everything. You should come back and try again, Beatrix. There's a, I think, 14-day or maybe 10 day, I can't remember off the top of my head right now, free trial. 14 days if you start a new account, free trial. And I think there might be like a 7-day, if your account's inactive, free 7-day trial thing if you have an active account already. It's still a very, very fun game. I think the best PvP you'll find is what most people say. I played a couple other MMOs and they're all pretty lackluster compared to DAoC for what I'm looking for. Well, if you talk to Carol K, I'm sure she might join us in the Twitch chat a little later. She's the community representative for Broadsword, who run the game now. She does a really good job of helping people get back in touch with their original accounts. So they do a pretty good job of helping old players, figure out their old account info. So give that a shot, maybe if she's around. If not, if she's not around today in the Twitch chat, you can probably message her on postcount.net. She goes by Bevan there. Or you could probably tweet her. I think she runs the Dark Age Twitter and also the Dark Age Facebook, so I'm sure she'll respond there if you would like to reach out to her. Yeah, as far as armor and stuff, templates, yeah. 2005 is pretty old, but if you have decent ranked characters or already leveled characters, it's nice to just try to, get new armor and stuff and not have to worry about leveling or getting a bunch of rank and stuff. Yeah, she is Yay Carol on Twitch. You can probably send her a message. I'll type it for you. That's her Twitch name. Send her a message, say you have some, issues getting your old account, or tweet her, or postcount.net. It's the best way to get in touch with her. Yeah, make sure you go to the official DAoC page. I think there might be a couple, but yeah, Dark Age Camelot. There we go. It's got about 20,000 likes, so that's the right one. Bots are still very nice as well if you have a bot account. However, they did put in like I guess NPC buffers, as you can see here, where you can buy buffs with gold or bounty points. They're pretty cheap. They're not cap buffs. I think they're like 10 stats off from being capped, but they're very close. You can always run buff charges too, and with the new patch, they're making these things called supremacy pots, which are already in the game, but they're very hard to get. What supremacy pots are, they're just potions that give you fully capped buffs, but they're making them craftable in this campaign that's just launched. I think in the next chapter of the campaign, you'll be able to craft them, but you'll have to get semi-rare materials from a new zone and stuff. So if you don't want to pay for a bot or anything, there are other options. Now, I won't be forming a group. I'm just going to do the podcast. I'm going to start it soon once some more Twitch viewers come. So I'll just probably be running around this place talking to you guys. Give it about 5 or so more minutes to really get to the podcast. Let the Twitch viewers go up a little bit. I think we have about 10 people watching right now, so we'll wait till we get a little more. Hey, Carol, what's going on?
Oh, yeah, okay. That's working. Hello.
Hey. There's actually a guy in the Twitch chat that's thinking about coming back, and he might need a little help remembering his old account info. And I told him maybe to talk to you. But he is Beatrix2005 in the chat, so I think he said he was going to message you or make a comment or something on the Facebook page.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, either works.
Okay, good deal.
I was watching the final season of Arrow, so there was just like one left at 40 minutes ago, so I said I could be 5 minutes late, it'd be okay.
Yeah, it'll be alright. Not the end of the world. And also, if you're just getting started in the game or coming back after a long time, the Knight's been making some videos to try to help returning or new players kind of get adjusted to the game. You can find those videos on darkagecamelot.com. If you go to About the Game, at the very top, there's a little guide, or guides tab. And here, I'll link it in the Twitch chat right now, just to give you an idea of what we're doing, but kind of helps explain some of the things and maybe help new or returning players out. Also help existing players also that may not know some things. So there's some cool videos there. And there will be more to come. I think we're still working on a bunch, so.
Yeah, and I think we have a couple more videos coming, if not this week, then the following week.
That's good, yeah.
I think the Assassins videos are coming.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I saw a preview from Fugo. That was pretty nice.
I thought too, it was really good. It actually explained a few things to me, and I'm playing a Nightshade, and I was like, oh right, okay. That probably explains why I'm dying a lot.
I actually took a run on my imp the other day, and was not very good on it anymore. The whole swapping thing, just so out of practice on it. Just couldn't do it.
I was doing poisons that got me. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I kept forgetting everything. So then I went to Ranger instead. I get to run away an awful lot more, so I'll
Typical.
probably stick with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd much rather
Yeah,
play
very
Ranger,
much.
I think, right now than Assassin. It's way more fun to me. Yeah, I know, Slam Day. But once we get into the podcast, I'm going to be focusing a lot on the Twitch chat. So it's going to be hard for me to actually focus on the game and also focus on what the chat is saying and all that good stuff. So it's boring visuals maybe, but hopefully the content, the audio content will be good enough. I'll go on a horse too, maybe that'll help.
You could go hang out in creepy bag of Cullen.
Creepy. Yeah, I could. I don't think I'm at that step yet, though. I haven't done it on my bard. Unless you can port in without. Don't you have to kill the big fella in order to open the portal? Or am I...
Yeah, you have to be on either on the step or have completed it before, so that you
Yeah.
can go through the portal.
Yeah, I'm not even close to that. Alright, well, we have about 17 people, so I'll go ahead and get the podcast started. As always, welcome to the Knights podcast. I'm Obelisk. I'm joined by Bevan, aka Carol, aka Yay Carol, aka Carol K. She's the one flying around, emoting you in the air, the person you can't see. But yeah, thanks for joining us on the podcast. It's just me and her at the moment. So I guess we're going to talk a little bit about the new patch that just recently launched, as well as the campaign. I'd like to see what you guys think about it, what's good about it, what's bad about it, what are you enjoying, stuff like that. But personally, me, I haven't had a chance really to go through the content. I've been really busy this last week, and I've been trying to help the guy that made Loki spellcrafting calculator. Been trying to help him get the Loki updated so it can function in this patch, but I hadn't really had a ton of time to PvE. But have you had a chance to go through it on Yuan yet, Carol?
Yeah, I've got some of my mid characters done. A couple of my hibs I got done last night, and I think on Saturday I got a couple of albums done as well.
Nice. It's exciting. Yeah, I need to run through on a bunch of different characters. I have way too many. I have like 30, 40 something characters, so I'll probably just get a couple of each and then swap them around on my characters and I decide to play, so I don't have to do them on every single character. Because that's going to take a long, long time, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't too. I didn't know what I was doing the first time for myself because I started solo, just doing it on my Scald run round. I could do a good bit of it solo until the last. So it took me a while, but after the first time I did it, I was fine after that.
Good. So when you did it solo, were you able to go to DF and kill the succubuses without issues and stuff like that?
I went to the CO5 dungeon.
Oh, that's probably a better idea, so you don't run the risk of getting killed by enemies. Hey, Nazo. So we have...
Yeah, it was first time. I got a first go, so that was great. So then I did it on my thing, and that took a little bit longer. But I met up with a group then after like 20 minutes, and then got it within 10, so it was good.
Nice. We have another person that's coming back possibly after 6 or 7 years and may have some difficulty finding his accounts on the French servers.
I
told him to
send me a message on Twitch. Perfect.
Yeah, I might need to go ahead and start doing these quests though before the next chapter comes out, because I don't know how many people will be still doing the first chapter.
Well, you'll have to do them in order to get to chapter 3. So you'll have to do them all.
Definitely.
So there'll be people who around chapter 5 go, "Oh, I need to do this." So it'll be continuous.
That's good. That's good.
Good.
I did notice I had a chance to play for about an hour or two on, I think, the day after the patch, or it was the first patch day. Like that afternoon, and RVR was completely dead. I think everyone was out in PvE trying to start the quests and stuff, get their items and whatnot. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the overall timeline takes us to about November or so, with all of the chapters.
Yeah, and it also tells you when each chapter is roughly come out. So I'll get the link for that.
So according to this little, I guess, chart, chapter 2 should be coming out probably at the end of July, it looks like. July 29th or so, August 1st, hard to tell.
Yeah, Segas. I can't pronounce that. Sagias one. That's what I'm going with. Or
Okay.
It's your new name anyway. That's all you can get for now. And you can, even if you did the prologue before, you can still start it again just to make sure that you get everything straight through. So I think the next one is roughly around the 27th, maybe the 28th.
Good. So
of this month.
A little over a week until then. And this next chapter, chapter 2, is when you'll be able to actually pick up the materials for the new potions, right? This is from what I understand from Kevin.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that'd be exciting. It'd be fun. People trying to, you'll finally see the influx of supremacy pots and celerity pots and stuff like that. So people have been waiting for that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how quickly they come about.
Right.
How the collecting of them is going until a bunch of people start doing it. Go from there.
Right. I'd imagine it's going to be mad graphs, or a mad, race to gather materials the first couple of days. People are all going to be all over it, trying to get their materials.
Yeah, to get everything. I think if you're an alchemist, you need to be around the 1100 skill to make the potions. There's 6 new ones.
Mm-hmm. So 700? That seems pretty low. Surprised. I figured you'd have to be like LGM or something.
11.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 700. I was like, I hope not.
That's my accent. 1100, yeah.
Yeah, good. That works out then.
Yeah, I think the summer in 1050, and then I think it's the 1100 for the supremacy path.
Have angered the realm of Albion. Should get chased across aggro by a couple of reavers.
You can take them.
Yeah, this is why I normally stay home when I'm doing the podcast. I'm looking forward to the new legendary weapon patch, or the chapter where those are released. See how the body
I
legendaries
think
really
it's
influence
much further along.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we? July. I know 1.119 is going to have like a couple of, it's only going to be a small couple of things, just anything that needs to be addressed for classes in the next patch. But 1.120 and 1.121, I always get them wrong, but I got them right, are going to be more in depth for classes.
Awesome. So 1.119 is just going to be a very small patch with maybe a couple tweaks to classes. Is that what you're saying? Nothing major though?
Yeah, like anything. Well, it actually could be the reverse. That it could be a couple of major things that need to be addressed, and then everything after that, just each class reviewed, and there won't be big sweep and start from the ground up, but maybe a few small tweaks
Right.
to each the classes here and there.
Do you have any clue when Necros are going to get looked at? And if you do, to what
I
extent?
knew Necros are going to come up.
Because I know you said no big
And you said
sweeping
except
changes.
Necros. Yeah. But I don't know what's planned for them, so I don't know what. I just know that they've said, yeah, Necros need help, but I don't know what yet.
Well, that's good. Well, hopefully they'll be in 1.120 or 21, one of those. Hopefully they'll get a little bit of love there. Because it'd be nice to see some, that class more viable. As I've been smalling on Animist and Bard lately, we come across Necros, and sometimes it can be they can be really annoying. When you're fighting a Necro with a couple other people, because you can't CC one of the Necro pets, and that's very hard to deal with. And then they have that quick cast where they can essentially cast like 3 or 4 spells uninterrupted, which can be pretty devastating if you're not prepared for it.
Yeah, I sent a couple of them last night, and they said the pet paving is a good bit better, very noticeably better.
Yeah.
There's still a couple of issues, I think, around Almaze and the center bridges on, I think it's Glen, Neged, and Bold, but otherwise, I said it's great.
Mm-hmm. I've had a couple issues around. I can't remember if it's Alb Agra or Hib Agra, where you're running and the pet kind of just like darts to the right a little bit if you're running towards the tower, like passing it. It's not a big deal. It just kind of darts over for a second and gets a little bit behind. But it's definitely a lot better than it was last patch. Yeah, I think in some of the rune keeps it kind of gets a little bit lost. My Animus pet at least gets a little lost for a few seconds or so, and then it'll pop back out. But I remember before the patch, if you went into the rune keep or the maze or something, it'd be a good minute and a half until you saw your pet again. Don't know what it was doing. Should have followed it. See if it was hunting for gold or something.
Gotta found out, especially if they found some.
Yeah. Yeah, Todd was saying it's Alb Agra that's the issue still, I guess. I hadn't played a scout, but are scouts really able to get 3,000 hit points with no toughness at the moment?
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. I figured they'd be around the 28 or so.
Jacob, you are a scout. Why are you complaining about it?
He's saying he loves it. He wants more of it.
Oh yeah, okay.
I just didn't realize they can get that many hits. Seems pretty, like a lot.
I hadn't actually heard that.
Yeah. I figured they'd be around the 26, 2700 hit points without toughness and stuff at the moment, but like I said, I hadn't played mine forever. I don't even know if it's CL 10, let alone CL 15. Have you guys in the Twitch chat, have any of you guys had a chance to do the first chapter of the Otherworlds quest? Or Otherworldly quest, I should say. Or do you guys have any comments or, suggestions, I guess, about the new content that's coming out? Oh, it's new ring/use. Yeah. Yeah, 5% is quite a
Oh,
bit.
right.
And the good thing about that is...
I never know which.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know, it's just 'cause I never know which ring to get when I do it, so I just keep getting the caster one.
Yeah. I'll probably get a couple of each. Maybe not the assassin ring, because I don't play a lot, or the stealther ring, because I don't play a lot of stealthers anymore. But yeah, I'm sure all of them are pretty useful. I know since they were toned down a little bit, I think they used to be, what, 5 over cap, and now they're only 4. That's made them a little harder to template. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I know there's a couple that did templates based on the initial Pendragon release, but that's for testing. So
Yeah.
when they went live, they changed a little, so there was a little surprise there. But
Uh-oh, sad times. Is this UI for ants? Yeah, kinda. No, it's, I don't like a lot of clutter on my screen. It's nice, I like a lot clear, clean, minimize the UI as much as possible. I don't really need to see a lot during a fight. I just rather see people and whatnot. See what's going on in the fight. So I crank up my resolution as high as it goes and tone down my UI almost as low as it goes. But yeah, that charge on the new ring is really nice. Because a lot of those, it's like the similar to the Spear of Kings charge. That's an or aura, so a lot of the classes that run pulses, like Scalds or Paladins, Wardens, stuff like that, they can't really take advantage of that. But with it being a straight buff, it allows everyone to really use it without having to worry about sacrificing their pulse. So I think that's a cool new little buff. I haven't been able to test out the new SC changes because I haven't really had a chance to retemplate anything yet. But I'm looking forward to see what you can do with the new imbue cost. I remember when they initially made the changes, the imbue costs were a lot lower than they are now. So that was kind of a big change, and then they kind of brought them up to more along the lines of obviously where they are now with the patch, but they made them closer to what they used to be. But they're still a bit cheaper than the old imbue cost. About 2 across the board, I think. So it'd be nice to see what you can do now with templates. Also, has anyone tried the new CGF? Let's see. See if I can queue for group and actually get it. I'll queue for crowd control. See what happens. We have another person in the Twitch chat trying to recover an old account, Carol. Avoid pain.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
good.
yay, Carol. And Twitch, she'll be the person you probably need to talk to. Yeah, there you go. Just said something to you, so get in touch with her and she'll help you out. They're doing a lot to help returning players and new players and stuff recover their old accounts and whatnot, so hopefully you will rejoin us and have a good time again. Yeah, I did. It's only plus stats that are changed from the new view costs. Also, guys, if any of you guys have any questions or anything you want me to talk about, just let me know. If you have any comments about the new patch or campaign, also, we can talk about those. I've only had a chance to run through them on Pendragon. I haven't had a chance to do them on live, so fortunately I haven't run through the whole entire quest yet, just due to being too busy this week, but hopefully in a couple weeks I'll be able to do it, because I'm going out of town next week. I'm actually going to watch Chelsea play, Carol. Be exciting. Little preseason
Oh,
game.
really? Who are they playing?
PSG. So it should be a fun game.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So where is that playing?
It's in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where they're playing.
Nice.
Yep. So leaving on Wednesday and coming back on Monday, I believe.
I think I set the bot a little too fast. Kind of
Yeah.
spam and chat a little.
Shut up, Moobot.
Sorry.
A spammer on our hands. Oh yeah, also check out Crazy Kiwi, or Crazy Kiwi, yes, called. Check out his leveling group. He just posted in the Twitch chat, so check it out. It's a fun time, I'd imagine. Hadn't been able to go yet.
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I followed them one time. I'm trying to was it the underground shipwreck that was made for the catacombs? It's actually pretty cool.
Nice.
It's been a long time since I was there.
And this, also, if you're watching us, we're in the Otherworlds zone. This is the new zone that they introduced for this campaign. This is the first chapter of it.
Yeah, watch the aggro.
Oh yeah, these guys kind of hit hard. The mobs aren't too bad. You see them.
Tal runs. Yeah, just yeah, no, you're gonna die. Tal does Monday mornings with the crew. It's really fun and very nostalgic. So he's doing mid tomorrow. It's about 10 hours from now, level 24 to 30, and he has a link in the chat. And starting tomorrow, he's in Tuesday, I think he's doing Albion, 34 hours from now.
34 hours.
I like that. Just cover all time zones.
There you go.
34 hours from now.
That's all you need to do. Oh, yeah, one annoying thing about these mobs, makes it a little interesting, is they like to heal each other. So you have to deal with that sometimes.
You can't make it too easy.
I know, of course. I kind of like it. I think one of the mobs disarms you, if I'm not mistaken, and shears you and stuff. Keeps you on your toes. Like this guy just drink con debuffed me.
Yeah, I found out about the sheer thing, but I kept wondering how my con and dex are going.
I really like the shear mobs. I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah, and stacked up on some potions
Yeah,
and cards with characters before I get them down.
definitely. Yeah, most of these, like, I guess, consider them trash mobs, are pretty easy to kill. It only becomes an issue when they, like, you get a bunch of them and there's a bunch of healers and stuff. Did you guys tone them down since we last did them on Pendragon? Because I remember they were kind of difficult then.
Yeah, I think so. I did the run through on Hib actually last night. What was I on? Oh, my Barrett actually. Yeah, we did one group straight through. Kleena in here got defended the portal and killed the captain. Just I think it was 7 in the group, and we just got straight through. It was great.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, I think if I tried to kill the captain on my solo bar, I'd probably die pretty terribly. So I think I'm going to avoid that.
Yeah, the captain, you have to kill his ads first because they will heal him. So you can be there all night if you don't kill them first.
I remember obviously before the patch was released, some of the knights got together to test the new patch, at least the quests and whatnot. I think it was before Uther and Ymir and stuff like that were toned down a bit, and we had I think a group of like 7 or so knights, and we just got absolutely destroyed every time. We had to have Carol help us out a little bit, getting past.
Oh, that was resonate.
Yeah.
How'd you know?
It was it was very fun. These guys are tough. Oh, these guys' disease, I like it. I have a friend helping me. Nice. What's the sub price? I think it's still what, $15? Or about like $15.95 or something like that. You should come back, Kazi. Still pretty fun. Haven't soloed in quite a while. I've been doing a lot of small man. Small man action hasn't been too bad. We had an RP bonus for a while last week, so that did a good job to drive action, I think. Okay, I think these casting mobs are too good for a little bard.
Yeah, you lasted longer than I thought you would, so I suppose that's something.
I'm gonna kill this guy, I'm gonna do it. He's so good, he diseases. Oh, don't add Mr. Hero, I got it. Can do this. These mobs don't seem to take a lot of melee damage. This hero's been beating on him for a while, and my dots do more damage than him. Hey, Forge.
Yeah, hi Forge. It was just great time.
Have a good night, Hint.
Night end.
Anyone in the Twitch chat have any experiences with the quests? What do you guys think? I'd like to hear what you guys
Jerry
think about.
wants to know any more code uses to be on the new gear. I haven't seen it, so I don't know yet. The next part is about crafting. Chapter 2, when it's out in a couple of weeks or a week, 10 days, something like that, is crafting. So I haven't seen what comes for chapter 3 yet.
Kazi, the new SC changes, like all your existing templates are fine. You can just essentially do a little bit better with the new changes, so it's not a big deal. You don't have to retemplate. All your templates are still usable. They just may not be as optimal anymore. And obviously, oh crap, you don't have any of the new items and whatnot, so. Get a bit off more than I can chew here, Beeb.
Run into the animus. That's a really big mushroom.
Into the animus, there you go. That is a very big shroom. I don't think my animus shrooms are that big.
It's an ML9 then, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe jug too, I don't know. It's good to hear you like the quest, Mo Arts. Don't wanna steal these guys' mobs if I can help it. Just run back this way. What's going on, Flea? How are you?
Hey, Flea.
Just running around the Otherworlds zone. Answering some questions and comments and stuff as you guys ask them.
I'm watching the animus, so if you die, just let me know because I'm not watching it. This animus.
It's okay.
It's very fun.
We got buttons to push. Have an IP live for a second.
Okay, scream like a girl if you get in trouble.
Yep, that's normal. Yeah, people always talk about, you know, having to have the best templates, but this little bard, I don't think I've retemplated him in so long. I'm using the DF heart, but it's not my template. You can get by with using subpar templates to an extent.
The King's Epic is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's a good starter to, you know, get you going and get you set up and buy you the time to before you get a really big template. Plus, you could retemplate now for the rings, but then I think it's chapter 3 is bracers.
Yeah.
Then you might be like, oh, I want the bracer, I have to redo it again.
Yeah.
So.
I think I'm definitely going to wait until closer to the end of the campaign before I do a big, you know, retemplate of all my characters. I have too many characters to retemplate every couple of weeks, so I'm just going to wait. Yeah, knights have no admin powers. We are normal players.
They want it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I need my one-shot button like Beeb. That's all I need.
Yeah, I can also group chat, but which is the best.
Oh, wow. Yeah, like this bar template, I've made probably, I don't know, I made a ton of RPs recently on it. It's pre-DF. Like I said, I use the DF heart, but it's not even part of the template. I just wanted it because it looks cool. But you don't have to retemplate, you know, with every new campaign to stay competitive. I don't think, as long as what you're using is, you know, pretty good. Now, obviously, maybe in like the solo 1v1 type of gameplay, it's maybe a little different. But I mean, all I do is 2 men on this bard, and I'm perfectly fine. Yep, bracers in chapter 3, I believe. So that'll be fun. Be nice to see what's on them. Obviously, with this new patch, we're seeing a lot of, you know, stat over cap stuff, which were, you know, really brought into the game with the DF patch. So hopefully, we'll see more of that.
I had a thingy that told me, I just wanted to check that the bracers are at chapter 3. Yeah, chapter 2 is the crafting potions. So I'm just trying to confirm. I had a thing, but my email is a mess, so I should really do this better. I'm just trying to find it.
Talad, I don't think the Legis are coming in Chapter 3, if I'm not mistaken. I think those will be a little later.
Yeah, much later, I think. I don't know which one they are.
But definitely not Chapter 3. That's funny words.
Yes, chapter 3, bracers. Chapter 2 is the new pots, not the legendary weapons.
Am I not paying enough for you, Talad?
I think the legendaries are 6, 7, 8, something around there. Not the very end, but close enough to it.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I remember when they were kind of announced that you were doing different types of Legis. I was hoping they weren't too soon. I was hoping, gave us something to look forward to down the line. And as Kevin talked about in last week's podcast, they're looking at bracers, or sorry, not bracers. They're looking at gloves as well, I believe, as a possible new item in one of the camp or chapters.
Yeah, I think to say a cloak, I think so.
Oh, cloak, cool. That'd be exciting.
I think so, though.
Yeah, cloaks are already such a big item in most people's
Um,
templates with like ML10 cloaks and like SOM and things like that. It'd be interesting to see if the new cloaks rival those and see what they can do to mix up the cloak aspect of templating.
Yeah, I really need to slow down that bot. That's awful. I'm really sorry about that. I'll do it right now, actually.
Alright, here's the captain. This guy's like essentially the boss of this zone, if I'm not mistaken. Like, doesn't this guy bring his horde and kind of try to get your team killed? I don't think it's a good idea for me to attack him.
Is that the captain?
I think so.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
he brings, yeah, that's the captain. More will appear another 2 or 3 anyway. Will come with him, so you kill those first before you kill him. So, because he's red too.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen on the board tonight. Maybe me and my animus buddy over here can take him out. Let's do it. So you see these things right here, these big leafy looking things, otherworldly essences when you click on them. These will be the new crafting materials once, I guess, Chapter 2 comes out. You're just unable to pick them up right now, is what I understand.
Yeah, there's a quest that tells you about them, and you can pick up one just to complete the quest, and that just explains what they are and tells you, basically allows you. So, the 3 NPCs that you have to talk to, Nana Mana Strong, which is an awesome name, Lieutenant Haley, and there's Aaron Snowtouch. There are versions of them inside the spooky versions of these areas. They'll give you a quest that you'll need to do to get started with these.
I'll run over to
the first one's just like a teaser.
Yeah. So it's this guy that gives you the quest that I'm staying beside. Unfortunately, I'm not at this quest or this step in the quest, so I can't get the quest from him. But if you go through the whole quest chain, this guy will give you the quest and give you a little teaser. I want to kill the captain with this animist. I'm excited. I should probably ask him if he wants to.
Yeah, there's an additional quest that you can get from the same NPC in here as well to kill 10 of just 2 or 3 different types of mobs. So it's just another extra quest for more fun.
Now, what does that quest give you as a reward? Can't remember at the moment.
XP and coin, but it's
Okay,
we need to introduce you to the
right.
mobs. And because while you're here and doing the captain, you actually do kill just so many of them, so
Right.
it's cool. It's a handy extra little bump. Yeah, Movart's move down the road is something we want to do is new guild emblems. I can never say that right, but I got it. Go me.
Well done.
Anyway, so 5-5. Yeah, so, but the art, there's a couple of other things that they had on the art before doing emblems, but they're going to try and stick it in. I think it's a lot of housing changes and stuff.
Definitely be nice to see some new emblems though, because the current batch is so hard to pick an emblem anymore. So many are taken, and
Oh, actually, that's what it was. Yeah, they'll add new emblems, but the emblem picker will be something down the line that they
okay.
would get added for the UI. But there was other things in the UI that needed priority, like the house scene, market explorer, and social, and that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, Mowart said he created a guild and took him about 3 hours to find an emblem. Yeah, I tried to change an emblem on one of my current guilds the other day and just had absolutely zero luck. So I just gave up and kept what I had.
I did in my Hib guild about a year ago, and I didn't, whatever way it worked, just the first one I picked worked. I couldn't believe it.
Nice. Yeah. I probably went through like, 30 emblems. All of them didn't work, so.
No, you can't skip any of this. It's chains, so you have to do it. Oh, you won't be able to do 5 if you haven't 4 done. You can't go from 3 to 6.
On some of the characters, I'll probably do 1 through 10 once they're released in a couple months. It's going to take quite a while. I'd imagine straight questing. Do you know how long it'll take to complete all of them? Like maybe similar to the old Champion Weapon Quest? Because those are pretty long, I think.
I'm not sure. So, I've seen this one and the next one, so, but I haven't seen
Okay.
what comes yet after them. So, because we could only put them up for testing as they're coming up. So,
Right. Now I've heard a couple players kind of complain that there's just a ton of running involved in this quest, and that they'd rather be more in the action, I guess. Do you know if the other chapters are going to
yeah, I've
be...
heard say that Hib have it much easier because they can just port Conla and
Right.
then take it to Inish Karthig and then scenic route and boom, they're there. So, I've heard that right, that Hibs seem to get there easier. But I haven't heard if there's any changes to
Okay.
porting around, jumping
Right.
around.
These zone walls are confusing me. Almost got caught and ran into one.
It's the creepy fog.
Creepy fog.
I watched The Fog the other night. Sci-fi, I think it was on Wednesday night. I was like, I have to watch this.
It's funny. Yeah, these CL dots are actually great. They're not too bad in RVR when you stack them. Do quite a bit of damage. Obviously I'm a machine here in PvE with the dots. Bard's best PvE class here. Who cares about Alps? It's a good question.
Yeah, there also seems to be an awful lot of mids in the Twitch channel. They always seem to heavily favor mids.
Down with Albion. I think once I get my Bard rank 12, I might start playing Alb a little bit more. Hadn't decided yet. I'm still 8 million run points out, so.
I'm still working on getting things to climb walls.
Okay, yeah. I can get behind that. I like that idea. have you started playing a thing?
Yeah, for the hammers. Hammers are awesome.
Bard will be the best solo class of the Legis. Yeah, I actually fought a solo Bard probably about a couple months ago, my Reaver. And it was one of the hardest fights I've had in a while. It's so hard to kill him, and he actually did quite a bit of damage with the new dots and stuff. I think I fought him 3 times in one night, and I think every fight lasted about 10 minutes. And I actually lost one of the fights because I got impatient and tried to like Reaver bomb him at a bad time, and lost way too much hit points.
You can't get impatient. No, so yeah, totally destroyed.
Well, I was streaming, and not gonna lie, I'd been drinking a little bit that night, just having a good time with the stream chat, and I thought, you know, another 10-15 minute fight with the Bard would just make me go crazy. So I was like, I'm gonna end it fast, and it did end fast, but not in my favor, unfortunately. But yeah, I can't remember the Bard's name, Shinrix or something, I think. He's a very good Bard. I was very impressed by him.
Oh, I started playing Bard as well.
Oh, did you?
I'm actually fan. Yeah, they're really, really fun. Now, I can't mez to save my life, so, but
That's
other than that, they're really fun. Yeah, they don't need it.
Yeah.
That's only like 50% of the Bard.
Oh, what's up, Kevin?
Kevin!
Oh, hi, how's it going?
We were joined by Broadsword Kevin. So he joined us last week, I think, as well, and gave us some spoilers on the new patch. It's very fun.
It was fun. I enjoyed myself.
I'm actually running around the Otherworlds right now on a solo Bard trying to kill stuff.
I noticed.
Yeah.
Looks tough.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, challenging.
Yeah.
I see the captain here, and I kind of want to try it, but I think that's going to be a big mistake. But I'm going to do it anyway, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will be interested on finding out how well you do, especially with a is that a spell? Yeah, that's a spell shaper in there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Got the spell shaper mez. I'm stuck in the tree. It's so sad. Okay, I've been in worse situations before.
Come on, you can do it.
This is going quite well for me.
Is the animist going to help you?
Oh,
actually,
no.
yes.
This is my kill. Get away from the animus. Oh god, the zone wall always gets me. Oh, he's getting healed now. It's not good for me.
Yep.
The animist is on the ads, I think.
Yeah, it's good. Just take him back this way. I don't think the captain's hit me yet. I don't know if he can. It might be bugged or something. Cancel my rank 5 so you can see. Yeah, he's really struggling to hit me. He hadn't hit me once.
Oh, we'll have to delete your character to fix that.
Oh no! That would be devastating. I've been trying really hard to get this
to
guy
respond to to respond to Adiat in chat. The auto run, I've had that issue as well. It's a matter of like somehow the keybind gets, I'm not exactly sure what's happening, but it has to do with how the keybinds are set up, and when you alt tab it kind of registers that as something else that's going on. So unfortunately, to fix that on my end, like what I usually do is I set my auto run to a different key. I've always done that though before. I've never had it on numlock, where most people do have it on numlock. And so that I haven't run into that issue since I've set it away from numlock. Anyways, that was impressive. Congratulations on defeating the captain.
Thank you. It was very exciting.
And the Monty.
And the Monty. Well, I had to, you know, let him know who was boss after I killed him. What better way to do that than with the Monty?
So, Obelisk.
Yes, sir.
What would you say is your #1 biggest issue with this Otherworlds campaign area? What are you having? What are you saying? Man, you know, it's great, except if only.
Well, to be honest with you, I hadn't had a chance to run through the quests this week. I've just been so busy with work and stuff that I've only really had, I think, 2 or 3 hours to play this whole entire week, and I RVR'd a little bit during that time. So I can't really tell you, but from the feedback I've heard on post count and through the game and stuff, I think a lot of people are finding it there to be a lot of running involved, and that may not be their favorite thing to do. They'd rather get to the content and have fun, maybe in the other world instead of running around back and forth, like from the main city and stuff like that. So that's one thing I've heard a bit about. So that's why I asked Carol. I didn't know if she knew going forward with the new chapters if there was going to be a lot of running involved, or if it's going to be more, you know, encounter based in the Otherworld zone.
Right. So, spoiler alert. Okay. For all those of you who don't want to hear any spoilers about Chapter 2, you can go ahead and just mute us for.
I don't think I remember doing that.
But spoiler alert for Chapter 2. There's going to be, in Chapter 2, a lot less of the running back to non-Otherworlds places. So there's going to be no go back to Tirnanog, Camelot, Jordheim, whatever, during Chapter.
So that's good.
Also, yes, as Sagacious One says in chat, we did change one of those parts so that you did not have to go back to Camelot or Tirnanog or whatever to the city, and then out to kill the monster or the boss at Leonie's Bog of Cullen, Vanern Swamp, and then back to Camelot again to be able to get the next quest, which took you to DF and then back to. So instead of that, we skipped one of those steps just to kind of cut that out. It was a bit much, and I agree. At first, it made more sense when we had divided up into the teaser and then later into the Chapter 1, especially since we were planning to have the teaser have the repeatable quest, and then we were like, well, but then if we have the repeatable quest, that means that you'll just be able to sit there and farm for that repeatable quest unless we do something to make that not that way. And then we took out the repeatable quest just because of other things that we were doing, and then it was like, whoops, we should have taken out that extra step as well. My apologies on that. We got that corrected.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that was good.
Binding in the Otherworld is not going to happen, unfortunately.
Now, what are the issues with that? I guess just being able to port around faster with port stones and Sojourner.
Partially. So you're going to have these sort of like channelers. I mean, I think you've already seen one available in here already. So there's going to be further channelers as you go along to each of the chapters, so you'll be able to port between all the different chapters. And that channeler will also port you back to... Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I said that would be handy.
Yes. So you don't have to like go to chapter 1 and then walk through a portal to get to chapter 2 and then walk through a portal to get to, you don't have to go through all that. There's just going to be a channeler that goes, yeah, you want to go to chapter 4 from chapter 1? No problem. Boom, you're done.
I like that.
That'd be really good.
There is also a port out. I've thought about it a little bit. I may end up putting a port directly to the city, but I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure out like how all this is playing out with how people are trying to get from and to the Otherworlds.
Right.
So far, a lot of people are using death as a means of teleportation, which fine, I'm okay with that.
It works.
Yep.
It does, but I mean, if you're trying to bypass the system by doing that instead of using like your teleport stones or something like that, then well, we might as well put in a channeler, I guess.
Yeah. Also, like
who knows? Anyway.
Sojourners, like there's tons of them. Like there's tons of bards running around, tons of healers running around. That's pretty easy way to get back as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah, not a lot of people uses that much.
Oh really?
So yeah.
Huh.
I mean, people do use the tinfoil hat, but if you have bound to Camelot, Ternanog, or Jordheim, death is faster than tinfoil hat porting into the SI and then porting to,
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Definitely understand that.
So people will only have to do the run around to get and start the chapter 1 part. After that, most of it's going to be in the Otherworlds.
Yeah, we're planning for most of it to be in the Otherworlds. There is going to be an NPC coming up who may seem like you should have to kill them, but then when you come up to them, they all of a sudden have something to tell you, and then they've got something for you to do that takes you back to the regular worlds, but that's a little ways down still.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry, should I have said spoiler alerts, just in case anyone doesn't want spoilers about chapter whatever?
You've ruined it for me. So sad now.
Darn it, I am so sorry.
Yeah, I'm done.
Done. Not even gonna do it now. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that way about Game of Thrones, So in Game of Thrones, here's what happened. Oh, I'm sorry, wait.
Oh no!
No.
I have no insider knowledge there. Only insider knowledge of Dark Age of Camelot.
That's good news. We don't want to do double spoilers tonight.
Of course.
I found a PvE team now. Killing all these mobs a lot quicker with these guys.
You're the PvE king.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna pull the captain. Okay.
So we toned down the amount of gold given out by the repeatable quest there.
How much was it originally?
It still gives out a pretty significant...
110.
Okay.
No. No, it wasn't 110. The repeatable quest?
Yeah, I felt like when we did it on Pendragon, it was quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I should pay more
I think
attention.
it was somewhere in the range of like 300 or 400 gold or something like that.
Yeah. Because I remember thinking that's going to be a decent way to make a lot of plat.
Oh, I need to do these quick.
Well, we've already toned it down before release. Sorry.
Oh, no fun.
And guys like Uther and Ymir and stuff have been toned down in this patch, right? Because they were pretty hard last patch, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we did Cleaner with 7 last night. It was pretty awesome.
So you actually pronounce her name correctly.
That's because I'm Irish.
Well, yeah, I realize that, but it's just funny. Even though I know the correct pronunciation, I still pronounce it incorrectly.
There's 2 ways to pronounce it. One is Cleaner, and then if you're really posh, it's Cleona.
Not that fancy.
We're not that fancy, no.
To answer the question, Movarts, there's Chapter 1 is one of those circle areas, and then the next part, Chapter 2, is going to be in another one of those areas. So you're going to move through 3 different encounter areas during the course of Chapter 1, 2, and 3.
There are 2 and 3 in those other round circly things in the map then?
Yep, that's correct.
Oh, cool.
As you can see.
And part of the reason we did that was because we were trying to sort of limit how much we were going to put in so as not to populate an entire zone. Most of that was done out of kind of fear of sort of diluting the content so that there wasn't a lot for people to do. Like, you know, here's a few mobs here, a few mobs there. You know, what do we do? A quest to kill some here, quest to kill some there, whoop-de-doo. And instead focus it more on like an objective as part of the story as you're going along.
So there's obviously a big story behind all of this that I guess you don't want to have any spoilers for, but I think he said last time there's going to be kind of a finale type big event coming at the end, sort of to tie in with the anniversary.
Yeah. Chapter 10.
That'd be exciting.
That's the hope, yeah.
So yeah, I like stuff like that. Big tie-in with it.
So having each zone be a chapter would have been quite a bit of work, and on top of that we would have only been able to do 3 chapters if we did that.
Mm-hmm.
So this way we kind of extend it so that each zone gives us 3 chapters, giving us 9 chapters total. It was more kind of a limitation with what we were doing.
Right. And now what gave you guys the idea to split up into 10? Is it just kind of how it works? Or did you guys have an ultimate goal?
It actually just ended up, yeah. I mean, it just kind of fell that way. We're like, oh, so how many zones could we get? All right. Well, this ends up being like this. How many do we want to do for each zone? Well, we could do like 5. We could do 10. We could do 3. And we sort of just kind of at some point agreed on 3, just to kind of not overdo it.
Yeah. Now with future patches coming, obviously this campaign is ongoing for quite some time. Patch 1.1 or 1.119. Is that possibly going to happen, during the campaign, or is that going to be something that's going to be worked on once the campaign is totally complete?
So this was 118, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And 119. Good question. I'm pretty sure that 119 will come out while the campaign is ongoing.
Okay, that's cool. I know a lot of people are getting excited for 1.20, where I think class balance is going to be focused at that point. Because class balance is always fun to, new class balance things, or shakes up the game a little bit. I know that's something I'm looking forward to, just seeing what's done there.
So to answer if there will be zones RVR related, Chapter 10 is going to probably be, it is going to be RVR related. So we will have some RVR with Chapter 10.
Oh yeah, there's a question,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
If you do Who, Leoness, or Van Ern, or Cullen, you get both.
Yeah, and unfortunately that's part of just because that they're named the same thing, and they're, even though they are 2 separate zones. We thought of doing things like Ghost Leoness or something like that, or you know.
Right.
But we weren't. Yeah, we're having a little difficulty with that and trying to figure out a good way to make that, you know, obvious that you're not in Lyoness anymore. But this is just the way we kind of ended up doing it for now.
Has anyone tried the CGF for PvE groups doing the quest? Because I know that's an option for the casual group finder. I don't know if it's helped people trying to complete this quest or not.
I haven't had to use it because there seems to be people doing it around the clock. Anytime I've come down just to even get the quest, I've been able to do it because there's people there. So.
Oh, good. I guess I hadn't had a chance to try yet, so I'll probably try, not this coming week, but the week after, once I'm back in town and got some free time. Yeah, we have a suggestion to do TOA, I guess is a new PvE revamp or new PvE content in the future as the next thing, and that's something that I think would be awesome. I think the TOA zones are, I don't know, they're the coolest zones I think in the game. All the stuff there and all the encounters and whatnot. It'd be awesome to, you know, make that kind of the focus again in the future. That's something I'd love from a PvE standpoint.
I can understand that. TOA is a monster, though. It is.
Oh,
it
yeah.
is. There's a lot of parts of TOA which, if we even sneeze at it wrong, it will break everything.
Okay.
But you know, we don't want to. We don't want to say no, because I agree with you. I think that TOA could use some help to make it a little more interesting, make it so that the artifacts are updated so that they're a little more viable.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we could do with that. And I also think that we could probably, it would be a very large undertaking just because of how TOA is set up and all the different problems that we are, you know, could potentially run into.
Right.
We could probably work on it in a way that improves it for, like improves the different encounters, makes the artifact encounters more interesting, a little more cut and dry of, hey, here's this quest to get this artifact, and this is how it, you know, these are the obvious steps, but with some maybe, you know, investigative sort of things going on, like where you need to sort of, you know, try to figure out some puzzles or something along those lines. The Sphinx and things like that could come into play a little bit more. I don't know. It's stuff that we're thinking about. It's probably not the next focus, though.
Okay.
Just because I think that because of all these like PvE focused things, we should also definitely revisit some stuff in RVR, make sure that we're, you know, not neglecting anything that needs to be changed there or balanced or improved upon.
Oh, for sure, definitely. I think RVR should be focused on, you know, for you know, we had the DF changes recently, which was, you know, PvE focused, but had a bit of RVR in it, since DF's obviously an RVR zone. And then, you know, obviously, you know, this new campaign is, you know, all PvE up until maybe the last step. Yes, as far as in the future.
Kind of the plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to maybe revisit some of the keeps and how the behavior of the keeps is set up, or maybe, well, actually I would say test it out in the BGs first and see how that works.
Okay,
is
yeah.
probably more likely. But I don't know if that's going to be next. I mean, we're still discussing right now what's going to be next on the plate after this. And I think part of it is that we want to see how this does.
And when you say see how
As
this
long
one's-
as things are getting climb walls,
yeah, that's the next logical step, I think.
should be a patch in its own.
The Carol patch.
But yeah, adding things like the blood seals to DF was making it more interesting for people to go back to Darkness Falls, and I've always loved Darkness Falls, so it's one of my favorite things to just go, here, have a little, it's not a lot that we've changed. We really haven't changed too much about DF, but here's a little shot in the arm to say there's a reason to go back, and here it is.
Yeah, I lived in DF didn't RVR, I don't think, for about 2 weeks. Just had a great time down there.
Yeah, so I mean, part of that is what we'd like to see maybe in some of the battlegrounds or some of the RVR zones maybe, is to kind of, I mean, the doppelgangers kind of gave reasons to go into those areas, the frontiers areas, and it kind of gave solo and small groups a thing to do, which is interesting. I mean, it's it's there. It's something that you can do even if you don't have a full group, or if you're you just want to solo for a little bit or something like that. You can then go to other doppelgangers and look for other people doing it, or try to gank them, or try to put together a little bit larger of a group. And then it sometimes leads, and this is the hope, of course, but it doesn't always work out that way. But hope that it leads to larger PvP.
Definitely. And I remember when doppelgangers were first reintroduced, like I guess when New Frontiers was launched, I was doing a lot at the time, and I still, that's primarily what I do, but the duo action was insane around doppelgangers, like the small man action, because that's, you have groups of 3, 4, 5 people going out there to, get the new shards and whatnot, because they were so new, and it was a great little boost to that kind of action. But yeah, like you said about DF, you didn't really change much, but you added, a reason for people to go down there. And we talked about TUA. This is something you could try to do with that. Maybe not essentially change a lot of the zone, because like you said, that's going to be, it's a monster. But maybe adding, an updated artifacts that you can only get by doing the quest, and maybe not from BPEs and glass and stuff like that. But make you actually do the encounters and whatnot to get the updated artifact, like the updated Bracer of Zoe or whatnot. You don't want to make it too grindy.
And a lot of those.
Go ahead.
Sorry. A lot of those encounters are still balanced for pre-champion levels. Yeah.
Right.
And so, someone can walk into some of those encounters with a very small group and just very quickly do it and just leave. And it was never, I don't think that too many of them were meant to be, completely soloable, but they had their balance, and the balance has changed significantly, because now you have a lot of situations where people just go, well, what's the critical mass we have to hit? Let's bring that, and then there's like 2 full groups going out and doing some of these things.
Right.
So it comes back to instancing. I mean, I'd love to be able to do, instance dungeons and things like that, where it's like you can only bring 4 people or 8 people to this dungeon.
Oh, definitely. That's something that would be awesome. I know a friend and I, we do Summoner's Hall, and trying to figure out exactly the lowest amount of people you can do to get. We only have 2 or 3 people that do it with us, and the Summoner's Hall encounters are pretty fun like that, to where you can do them with low numbers if you kind of know what you're doing with the encounter and whatnot. That's something I like. Instances give you kind of the opportunity to do that, I think, as well.
Blind Sword is fail. As a good one. Keeping the RDs as they are, but need quests to unlock the full power of. And that's also something that can be done, is that, to be able to unlock, level 2 of the artifact or level 3, you have to go through kind of quest steps, and so we turn them into kind of epic quests, but a little less here, talk to this guy, run here, talk to this guy, run here, talk to this other guy, run here, pick up this item, run here, kill this thing, okay, now you got it. A little less of that, and a little more, here's a fight that you must do, do your homework, figure out how it's done, and you know, enjoy the actual encounter itself.
Right.
But that's the problem with not being able to limit the number of people, because it's just throw more people at it, and then it's easy to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are ways for us to limit the number of people allowed into certain parts of the game, and we can do those sorts of things, but without doing it in, I think, the right way, we're just going to end up doing things and really turning people away from that content instead of turning them towards it and making them really want to do it. I mean, there's certain games that I've played where I go into their dungeons and things like that, and I'm just like, this is terrible. I don't want to do this. Even though, like, you know, some of the best gear might be there, doesn't matter. And I feel like I want to avoid that here in Dark Age as well.
Definitely. And someone had the question, why not make the Otherworlds an instant PvE place? Is that just too big of a task to try to do that, or did you focus more on BG type?
A little bit, yeah. Well, so originally the Otherworlds was to help kind of have some content updates that we could do without having to require a lot of input from our engineers.
Right.
Or even artists, which there ended up being a lot more art to it than I originally thought, and it looks really good in my opinion, so I was very happy with it.
It looks awesome.
Oh, definitely.
The artist kept talking about how, oh, you know, if we had done this particle mists back when Dark Age first released, it would have crashed everybody's computers. Like, nobody would have been able to run this.
Yeah, I think I had like 56 megabytes of RAM or something like that on my first computer I played with. It was pretty terrible.
Oh, man.
I think zoning into Camelot took me about 10 minutes back then, but I did it. And it was fun, and I loved it. Those are some of the best times.
Yeah, but nowadays I hate loading. I hate taking 10 seconds to load. It's like, oh, this is forever.
Right, yeah.
So this kind of took a lot of those things and kind of streamlined it for us. You know, you're going to be porting between different zones, but those zones are all in what we consider a region, and the region is made up of multiple zones. So if you're not switching to a different region, you don't have to load. Well, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how this is kind of working out a little bit.
Someone has a question about the lore, and I think from what I understand, it's not actually Ymir. It's kind of like a reincarnated version of Ymir. Same with Uther and stuff like that on the Alb. Am I correct in saying that, Kevin?
Yeah, it's meant to be kind of the spiritual version of, or like an incarnation of. I hadn't really thought about that too much, unfortunately. I thought, hey, you know what would be cool? Having to fight a god. And I know, and I was looking at that and like shamans, Ymir, buffs. Well, what other god would there be? I don't know. I mean, I guess I could have done Fenrir maybe, or what's the snake's name?
I can't remember. I don't know nearly enough about that type of lore.
I mean, there were a couple of options, and I thought about it too. Where I was like, well, but then who follows Fenrir, and you know, who would his followers be? Who would his allies be? I don't know.
I just kind of looked at it. They were the spirits of them, and not actually them themselves, or like the, I don't know if that makes sense.
There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense in Dark Age, but it's still fun. I mean, I originally started on a role-playing server, Nimue or Nimue, depending on how you pronounce it. I'm sure Carol can correct us on this one.
Probably.
I don't know about that one, but I'd call it Nemu.
Now, how do you say Inged? I guess that's how I say it. I've heard it's Nied,
Niged.
actually. Oh, it's actually Niged? Okay. Well, that's exciting. I'm saying it right.
There's a lot of people doing this quest now.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people seem to have poured it in recently. I'd like to think I'm a trendsetter.
I think I was just gonna say it. Yeah.
I think they just finished Cleodna, so that's why they're coming here.
Oh, we did. Rain on my parade, man.
Just taking you down a peg. Yep, yep.
Well, that was special for a second. I like that theory, move arts. I'd like to see Thor just come down and show us who's boss.
Unite the realms. Interesting.
We'll have peace. Then it'll be Dark Age Camelot, Hello Kitty Island Adventure type of game.
Well, then it won't be the Dark Ages anymore. It'll be the Golden Age of Camelot.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Or the ruins. It might just be the ruins of Camelot.
That's
Maybe
true.
That could be that. After all, it is Thor, right?
Exactly.
I hear you say it would be better? I see. I see.
The runes, yeah, it's just a better story. It's like the Avengers, you know, fight back. I'm watching way too much Netflix.
That's one thing that I think Dark Age really got right, is their choice of the lore. That really, drove a lot of people to the game. It's such a cool, like, the Albion lore, obviously the Norse lore, and Eve's heritage, the Irish lore and whatnot. I think a lot of people really love that, and so much to play on.
Yeah. I mean, part of it, that was why I played too. I mean, I started on it because of the, like I said, the role-playing aspect of the game.
Right.
Took me about 2 years to hit my first 50.
Now, why did that take so long? Did you just take your time and do a lot of BGs, or just leveling back then was so hard? Or a little bit of both?
It was a little both. I mean, yeah, I mean, I got to like 30 or 42 in the first 9 months or so, but I also had like a level 30.
Right.
So that was like the first 9 months. There was a lot of role playing. There was a lot of non-leveling that was going on. And then it was about, I took a break for about 6 months or so, maybe a little bit longer. And then I kind of came back. I didn't find as many of the same role-playing folks as I did before, so I slowly started to just go, oh, well, I'll just level to 50.
That's kind of what I did too. I played for quite a while and then stopped playing due to technical difficulties mainly for probably about 6 months as well, and I came back and then got 50 and whatnot. But yeah, I think I played in Caledonia quite a bit when I was, the 34 range or whatever it was. I can't remember off the top of my head anymore, but I think my slash play when I got my first Paladin 50 was like 27 days or something. It was outrageous. And the slash play on my Bard, who's 1105, is only 39 days. So it's crazy how it's a relatively new character. So crazy how, the differences between leveling 10 years ago and leveling now are.
Yeah. That's very true. Very different.
Mm-hmm. Which is a good thing for a game like Dark Age, I think, whose main focus nowadays, at least, is the PvP aspect. And finding groups. I remember back in the day, you'd find PvE groups pretty easy to level with. But nowadays, I think, everyone's kind of bypassed that and gotten to the end game started RVR quite a bit more, so having a long leveling system would be not very fun, I think, nowadays. And also, I don't know, nowadays, like the grind, I think would turn a lot of people off. I don't know if there's a lot of grind-oriented games anymore. I think I played a couple of them and quickly quit those over the past like, 6-7 years.
I mean, it's more fun once you've hit whatever sort of arbitrary max they've set, and then they have a lot of content at that point that is interesting and engaging, dynamic, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't feel as much like a grind, I guess. Even though it could sometimes be. I mean, that's what I want to try to get away from a little bit. Make these sort of interesting things to do that are not really all about just, you know, kill 20 or kill 30 or whatever. Right. Which is why it was the same sort of concept I had for Warhammer with a lot of their content, Warhammer Online. It was, you know, let's make it more interesting. A single fight that you need to do that is difficult, dynamic, so it'll change maybe each time that you do it, or it might be a little bit different or a little bit harder, or just something will be so that you can't just sit there and, you know, tank and spank and that's it.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't have quite as much of the same tools to use, so some things are not there, but on the other hand, Camelot does have some tools that are actually better. Some of the systems and things like that they have are even better than even Warhammer had, and that's kind of strange since Warhammer came after.
Right. That's interesting.
Speaking of Caledonia earlier, my first ticket into the CSRs was, I believe, from Caledonia on my Paladin.
Really? Now, what
yeah,
was that for?
I was playing. So I was playing with a group of people, and we were running around. And this is back before voice chat or anything like that.
Right.
And you know, we had just attacked a keep, just taken it, and then I was having some trouble. I had to like move to another computer or something like that. I forget exactly what it was, but I had to log out for a brief second. So when I log back in, I can't move, and I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, I'm stuck, and here I am standing in front of the Battlegrounds keep doors. This could be bad, you know?
Right.
So I'm panicking, not thinking very well, and the first thing I do is I appeal, because I tried /stuck, and that didn't move me anywhere, and so I was like, I don't know what to do. And of course, I was encumbered.
Yep.
And I had lost my buffs when I logged out. And I felt like such a tool bag as the CSR is just like, yeah, guess what? Like, oh,
yep.
Oh my bad.
Embarrassing. I've done that a couple times, except for, fortunately, I didn't go far enough in my confusion to appeal, but I'm like, what's happening? Why can't I move? What's going on? Oh, no more buffs. A lot of bag stuff.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Yeah, I remember Caledonia.
Mm-hmm. That's good times for me. I was such a noob back then.
Yeah, I
didn't know what was going on.
Oh yeah,
just had a great time.
Yep. And it's hard to ever bring that back, and it's hard to even introduce new people to that same experience.
Right.
Because a lot of people are going to bring the baggage of other games, knowledge of how other games do certain systems and things like that, and so it, you know, some of these seem extremely outdated, even though They were kind of the bread and butter of the RPG community at the time.
Right. I mean, when Camelot was first launched, there weren't a ton of other MMOs to compare it to, really, were there? It was kind of a new type of thing. You didn't have all these WoWs and whatnot, Warhammers and...
I mean, I remember there was EverQuest, and there was Phantasy Star Online, and there was Ultima Online. There were a few out there at the time.
Okay.
I don't know if they were released like shortly after Camelot or more about the same time, or when, or before. Yeah, but I remember there were a few.
Okay.
I remember the big one being EverQuest and thinking, I don't really feel like playing that. But then Dark Age came out and it was like, well, this is Camelot and Norse fighting against like Hibernians who seem to be kind of fairy folk from the north. Like, okay. Like the druid culture or whatever.
Right.
Tree huggers, yeah. Like, this sounds interesting. Like, you know, these are the sorts of, you know, things that I would, you know, read about on my free time. Like, these were part of the, you know, hey, cool, let's read about Norse gods and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, my stepbrother actually introduced me, and I didn't have any clue what, you know, MMORPGs were or anything like that. And, you know, started playing and just absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I think my first introduction to MMORPGs was not EverQuest, sorry, Ultima Online.
Right.
A friend of mine showed it to me, and he was like, yeah, so you just leave this here, and it'll level up your lumberjacking. And I'm like, why do you even do that? I don't get it. He's like, well, you know, this builds strength for your character. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wait, what? Like, this isn't playing a game.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, back in probably 2007 or so, I was playing a lot of Dark Age at the time, and you know, I wouldn't ever have imagined in, you know, 5 years from then I'd be still playing, let alone, you know, another 8 or so years. It's just something that's always, you know, well, I'll move on, I'll start doing something else, get busier and stuff, but it's hard to get away from a game like this, and something I've been playing for forever, it seems.
Yeah, yeah. So have you gone through the quests on this character?
Not yet, no. I've just, Beeb kind of took me in and...
I snuck him in.
Snuck me in.
Ah.
Yeah.
To show off the zone, under the radar.
Hmm. So I was kind of interested. I found that, especially on the first day, the rings were going for quite a price on the market.
Mm-hmm. How much are they now? I think the last time I looked at them, they were around 100 plat a ring. That was early on. I'd imagine they probably lowered quite a bit with the more being introduced to the market. Also, side note, we should hopefully...
Okay, I thought my event crashed. My Skype crashed. So
Oh, did it?
I thought
Yeah.
my event crashed. You know what happened?
I was going to say that hopefully tomorrow, I think we're planning on maybe releasing some information for the 5v5 tournament. Is that still planned once I give you all my stuff, or maybe Tuesday? Carol?
Yeah, give it
Okay,
to me
okay.
as soon as you can, and I'll just make sure that John and Kevin are okay with it, and then
Right.
yeah, but we'll post it.
Good deal. Yeah, I made a little tutorial video on how to sign up today, so hopefully that'll help some people. And If I can get that started soon.
Awesome.
It appears all of the people have left the zone. I think they got their credit and left. I have Vorge asking if you were part of Mythic, I guess, way back in the day, when the left axe changes came and stuff like that.
I remember when Dragon Fang was nerfed.
That's a big one.
I'm trying to find the captain in here. I don't know where he went.
He seems to pop pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, they just killed him. That'd be why.
Did they? Okay.
Well, that, and I was looking for the guy with the dot over his head to do the quest, but he doesn't have it since I'm not doing the quest. The dev tune, so that is also why I couldn't find it.
Poor Vorge. No respect.
Oh, you'll be fine, Borge. Don't worry.
I have heard quite a bit about left axe, but I was not there at the time.
That was so long ago. I can't even remember like what year that was.
Yeah, that was a really long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd be over it by now, Vorge.
Nope. Gotta hold grudges long term. People take it seriously.
Apparently.
Well, alright guys, I'm going to start to wrap it up soon, I think. Need to go get some food before it gets too late. But before we wrap it up, are there any questions you guys have for either me or Kevin or Carol? Sure, we'd be happy to answer them if we can. Alright, if no more questions or anything, I guess we'll go ahead and sign off. As always, if you joined us late and you'd like to listen to a podcast, a recording of the podcast, you can go to the official DAoC Twitch channel and look at the recent broadcast, or I'm sure Carol will have it posted at some point tomorrow on the DAoC YouTube channel, so check it out there. Also, check out some of the new night videos that are being posted on darkagecamelot.com in the, if I'm not mistaken, About the Game and Guides tab. They're also on the DAoC YouTube channel, so check them out there. And join us next week, Sunday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. I'm sure we'll do another podcast then. I won't be in town that weekend, so it'll be some other nights, but tune in anyway. Should be a good time. And as always, thanks guys for joining. I'll see you all later.
Thanks all.